Hello, friends. Welcome to a special edition breaking news. We have a report on the Humpback Rock fire. We are here. I am Trevor Stewart, 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat. And in a little while, we expect a report from our raving reporter on the road, Trevor Stewart, 1308.
The Raving Road Reporter.
Raving reporter on the road, yep. Yes.
No, Raving Road Reporter.
Raving road reporter?
Yes. That flows so much better.
Well, unfortunately, Trevor Stewart 1308 went with raving reporter on the road during the shoot, so we get what we get. Today's pre-rolls have been brought to you by the Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, above the Brick, Suite 200, between the Green Cauldron and Hamilton's. A great place to go with your buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. They do have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research. My own personally highly biased research. By which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my personally biased research. We are not opinionated. We are opinionated. Our sponsors, our companies, and are not opinionated. All of the opinions you hear expressed herein are, while correct, not necessarily shared by our sponsors. All right, that's out of the way. Now, we are here to check in on the Humpback Rock fire. It also known as the Glass Hollow fire. Because Glass Hollow is much more precise for where it is. As of 4:22 this afternoon, it was 93 acres and was 90% contained. Now, by that, I believe they mean it had burned 93 acres, not 93 acres were on fire at once.
That sounds about right.
And 90% contained.
Yeah.
But let us go to our raving reporter on the road. Trevor Stewart, 1308. Why don't you take it away, Trevor? Oh, gosh darn it.
For 2 hours playing Sea of Thieves. You've been here the whole...
I was not prepared for this.
Oh?
Yep. Okay. Super not prepared for this.
Well, yeah.
Thought I was prepared, but no, obviously I was not. All right, now let's hear from our Raven reporter on the road, Trevor Stewart, 1308. Oh, come on.
Do you need to loop it through the Discord share screen?
It's part of what's going on.
That's so much fun.
But it also seems like... Alright, let's try this. See if we can hear our raving reporter on the road, Trevor Stewart, 1308. Why? Alright, I give up.
I mean, I could hear it this time.
I could not hear it. Could people on Twitch hear it?
I believe so. Give me a second.
We're gonna try one more time.
Okay.
It's it's upsetting because I put a lot of work into getting to it.
Yes.
Can you hear it?
Not since you don't have it as a string. Hang on. Nope. Nope. If you've got it looped through Discord, I can hear it.
Okay, you should be able to hear that. Now... Why can... Alright. Let's see what happens.
Thanks, Trev. Trevor Stewart, 1308.
I can hear it
raving
through...
reporter on the road here with a check-in about the fire. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see... We did see a section of burned land that appeared to come from a vehicular accident earlier on, although we could not find a name associated with it in the area. The last check-in we did on the website said that the Humpback Rock fire had burned 93 acres and was 90% contained. That was at 4:22 this afternoon. I do believe, though, that the fire has been put out and is done, because we have not been able to see any sort of evidence that the fire is still going. No smoke, no glow, nothing. Which, while bad for reporting, is great for everybody else.
Well, thank you, Trevor.
Back to you, Trev.
Thanks, Trev.
That was really cute.
Thank you. Yeah, nothing, it really does look pretty well contained. There doesn't appear to be anything going on. Like I said, no sky glow, no smoke. Now, that doesn't mean that it's completely dead, but that is good signs.
It is. It is. There's going to be hot spots, and there's going to be spots that reignite.
Yes.
Um, but hopefully, any of those hot spots are going to be in already heavily burned areas, so there's no further fuel.
Yes. Um, also, I feel like, they've got this fairly well contained at this point. They've got, you know, they had it 90% contained this afternoon. I'm guessing
Yeah.
they'll have it 90% contained in the morning or more.
Let us hope so.
Yes.
Um,
Now I'm out here, being hopeful and spreading messages of positivity. So,
yes. I am very hopeful that what you've seen stays that way, because I remember the fire down in Wingina down in the 90s.
the fire in Wingina in the 90s. I you know,
Um,
I don't remember that very well. Why don't you tell us about it?
well, for starters, Mom was a firefighter, and she was part of the crew that fought that fire.
Okay.
It was God. It was a lot of acreage that burned. Um, oh, who is that company that seems to own everything logging wise?
Purcell's?
Not Purcell. It's another name, and they owned a lot. West Vaco.
Oh, oh, oh.
West Vaco.
They're not logging their paper.
Yeah, where did they get the paper?
Oh, I know. They're logging, but yeah, they're not. They're not lumber. Let me rephrase that. They're not lumber.
Yeah,
They're
no, they're not lumber,
logging,
but
but they're
they're
not lumber.
so
Right.
West Vaco lost a lot of acreage down in the middle of Nelson County, down in Wingina in that area, and
Okay.
so you're talking a good from Schuyler. You're talking like a good 15 miles at least,
Okay.
and we had ash from that fire falling at our house.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, my
It
goodness.
was, and it took a long time for that thing to be declared done.
How many acres was it?
Um,
I vaguely, um, I remember a few times in my childhood where ash fell from the sky.
mhm.
And around here, I mean, I could even say ash fell from the sky like snow because it didn't snow
Mhm.
here much. So, snow much here. So, a few ashes floating down out of the sky was sort of like a few snowflakes floating down out of the sky.
Let's see.
Ashes fell from the sky like snow.
Mhm. Of course, it's not showing up where I can find it easier.
Of course not. Of course not. So, well, that is. So, my cameraman, my camera Dan
Mm-hmm.
pointed out to me that 93 acres is not all that big. Like, looking down into the valley from one of the overlooks and trying to conceptualize 93 acres, I couldn't really do it. Like, I don't have a... I have a concept of about what 5 acres looks like, because that's my plot of land. And so I
Mm-hmm.
can almost kind of build on that to build about, 100 acres.
Yeah.
It's both bigger than you'd think and smaller than you think, I think.
I mean,
I feel like 100 acres might actually be within the realm of the size of a building.
okay. Okay. An acre, because we're Americans and we deal with stuff. An acre is about a football field.
Okay, but how many Big Macs is it?
Well, we're going
No,
for
no.
97 football fields, so
An acre's about a football field, right?
right.
Right.
So almost 100 football fields.
Right. Yeah,
Now for
I can visualize 100 football field uh structure.
mhm. Now I want to say for the Charlottesville people, we're talking about just the green spot that the people run around on, not the rest of Scott Stadium.
Right. If you include all of Scott Stadium, that's actually like three or
5 or 6
four,
football fields.
5 or 6 football fields. It's just split up and spread out.
So was it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
Because,
45?
the Scots of Virginia felt the need to make everything look bigger. I
So
wonder
so you're
if
you're
they
going
were
with like 19 foot.
compensating for anything, especially with that bridge in Scottsville.
Could be. Could be. Although given the flooding, the bridge makes sense. But you're
No.
looking at like
But
almost 20 Scott stadiums just randomly planted in the landscape.
yes. And I could see that. I can actually visualize that. Um I think a building that might get close but is not the size might start to get to that size that ballpark is the book depository warehouse in Orange
Mm.
County. VHPS book building.
Okay.
I believe that is I believe that building might be 10 acres. I believe that building might be 1/10 the size of
Mm.
of 100 acres. Now, that being said, you take a building like that, you go out into land, the Midwest, the West, where land is flatter. And you can have a large campus size structure for something. But it's hard to think of 100 acres of open area. In this, I mean, there are. For instance, I think that the Amazon warehouse over near Stewart's Draft, I believe that's several acres large.
Let's see.
5 or 6, at least. It may be up in the 10 plus acres.
Let's see. Let me get my square footage calculator out. Hang on. Let's see.
Y'all are lucky that we're not talking in hectares and meters. Oh, good night, Jessamy Crystal.
Aw, yes. Good night. Let's see. So 10 acres is 435,000 square feet and change. So. We start adding letters to the decimal there.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't help me visualize this at all.
Okay. So. Alright, so a comparison for you.
Okay.
Alright, so. The Boeing factory that was built in Everett, Washington.
Okay.
Which is a place where they originally built the 747s.
Okay.
The square footage of their building there is 4,280,000.
Is 4,280,000. 4.28 million.
Yes. So, come back, calculator.
2.84 or 2.48?
42800.
4.28. $4.28. Okay. I can work with that.
Okay. So that is a little bit over 80 acres.
Okay. Okay. So there is not 100-acre building.
No, it's not a 100-acre building, but the place where they built 747s is
close.
4.2 million square feet, and it's between 80 and 90 acres.
Right.
Let's see.
So then, for the 100-acre woods to have been located in Christopher Robin's imagination,
Let's see.
I've been waiting to make that joke this entire time. As soon as we
I have
started
no doubt.
speaking in close to 100 acres, I'm like, oh, how am I going to make a Winnie the Pooh joke? So,
8712.
I'm glad you're awake for this.
Yeah.
Because that way, when we're both really tired tomorrow for Wait, Don't Tell Me,
Mm-hmm.
we have
There's
nobody
no
to
more fair.
blame but each other.
Okay, I have found you a 100-acre building.
100-acre building. All right, what do we got?
Or it's actually better than 100 acres because, all right, I'm dividing by the square footage of 20 acres. And I've got it, so 20 acres goes into this building 11 times.
Okay.
It's a 10 million square foot building.
10 million square feet. Now, is it spread out or is it up?
It is the Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, and it takes up 16 city blocks with a length of it's 16 city blocks long. And
Okay,
it's
okay, though. That gives us an idea of about 100 acres, 16 city blocks.
all right, and this is the square footage. It gives the cubic footage, so it's not talking about how tall the building is. This is just how many square feet it covers.
Okay.
Because they give the cubic footage too. The cubic footage, because apparently this is a taller. Well, I don't know
It's
about
more
taller.
than one floor, is what you're saying.
It's got 338 million cubic feet.
Jeez.
Now,
Cheapers.
I hate to use that. I hate to use that as an example because of what factory it is, but
What is it?
Gigafactory in
Don't tell
Texas.
me they make Giga Chads.
They do because they're called Teslas.
It hurts.
It does.
It hurts. No, Hertz rents Teslas.
Yes, they do that too. But most of the other buildings for the wonderful Wikipedia page for buildings with the largest usable space, the top two are listed as Boeing, which was built in 1967 in Washington and was close to 100 acres, and the Gigafactory, which was built in 2022 in Texas.
16 city blocks. That gives us some idea that is a relatable number there.
As a comparison to both the Boeing building and the Tesla building, you've got 1966, the NASA Vehicle Assembly Building at the Kennedy Space Center, which is only just about 350,000 square feet.
Okay.
Not only did they manage to send things up into space using computers that had about as much computing power as one of our more modern calculators,
Right.
the solar power ones, but they did it in a 300 square foot building versus
They did it in a closet. They had
they
a
did it in a
closet's
closet
worth of space and a calculator's worth of computer, and they
in the
sent
60s.
people to the moon and got them back.
Yes.
Because we can't forget that. The people on. Oh, man.
For,
Butch and Sonny. Jesus, I
yes.
swear they sound like. They sound
I
like they
know.
should be a children's TV show set in the Wild West with a dingo and a kangaroo.
Yes. Yes, they should. They
Butch
should.
and Sonny.
Now, for the square footage of the building they've got, their closet was pretty tall.
That's true.
Their closet, they
But
only had 350,000
they had
square
to
feet.
build a tall vehicle. They had to build
Yeah,
up.
they had 130 million cubic feet of space in that closet,
Ah,
which is
very,
relatable
very, very tall closet.
to the Goodyear Air Dock, which was built in Ohio. Same rough square footage as the NASA thing, but had 55 million cubic feet.
Wow.
So their
Wow.
closet was smaller, technically. And it was built in 1929. The Goodyear Air Dock that was built in Akron, Ohio, is really coming close to being 100 years old.
Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
So, yeah.
Well, that is some crazy perspective. But that does give us some idea of the size of the area burnt.
Mm-hmm.
About 15 city blocks,
16.
93 acres. Not quite
Yeah.
100 acres.
Yeah, but Charlottesville doesn't know how to count city blocks, so we just go with 16 and we're fine.
True, although 15 was a more... Anyway, we're not going to quibble over that level of semantic. 16
No, we're
city
not.
blocks. About 16 city blocks, and considering the distance and height from which I was looking, I could see why it would be hard to see if there wasn't any active flameage.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we will do a tomorrow during daylight hours. I'll try to do a ride through and find some of the damage done.
Yeah.
See if I can get some idea of what got burnted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably try and present that tomorrow evening in another midnight special edition. This may become a thing because I've noticed that when I'm out running around at night, being, a night owl, as I do,
Mm-hmm.
I see interesting things.
Yes.
And I have a camera and a sound recorder, so I could be getting
Interesting
reports.
things to talk about.
And I could be giving these local news reports here at midnight.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
So, let's keep our eyes open for more of these midnight special reports
We will
in the
try.
future. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Kat, for pulling it together out of nowhere. Sorry that there were so many technical difficulties. That's not going to stop me from posting this to YouTube.
Things happen.
Stick around for the raid. And as they say around here, or no, now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA double deuces. We're out, y'all.
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund. File free now. Roughly 37% of filers